North Carolina. I'm meteorologist Andrew Gren. We're going to cover the period today, November 17th through Sunday, November 23rd. Before we get into the forecast for the upcoming week, a little bit of a discussion about yesterday. It was pretty windy, pretty breezy, and also kind of dry. So this image basically shows you the maximum wind gusts pretty much across the state. Several gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour, several locations further to the south, 25 to 30, along the coast, similar ranges as well. And then also closer to the mountains in the western part of the state, we had one gust of over 50. So it was a pretty breezy day yesterday. And then looking at the relative humidity levels, they were also quite low. We did have a red flag warning out for our northern sections of the state, and also an increased fire danger for most of the remaining counties, especially across central North Carolina and the western part of the state. RH values dipped into some places the upper teens and low to mid 20s in other areas. So it was pretty dry and pretty breezy. Now today we are going to be fairly dry again as well, but wind gusts are going to be much lower compared to Sunday, so that fire danger is not as pronounced, which is a good thing. Let's go into the upcoming weather pattern for central North Carolina. Overall, it's going to be dry with slightly below normal temperatures to start the week. Overall, we're going to see moderating temperatures pretty much the remainder of the week and through the upcoming weekend. We're looking at highs potentially well into the 70s across the area Friday into Saturday. Hard to say whether Friday is going to be the warmest day or Saturday will be the warmest day, but they will both be pretty mild. And we're really watching two chances for rain. One is coming Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and that is largely going to kind of clip our northern counties with only 1/10 of an inch or less of rain. So really nothing really to speak of there. And then the weekend system, Friday night through Saturday, it's a lot of uncertainty as to whether we get any rain, and if we do get some rain, how much will we get? So that's still kind of up in the air. Both of these systems combined is not going to do anything to really help the ongoing drought. So rainfall amounts look limited at this point, with most of the period favored to be dry outside of those two periods. So looking at the 5-day precipitation total, this largely focuses on the Tuesday night to Wednesday system, and then a little bit of the Friday system, as you can see today through Friday. And really that Tuesday system into early Wednesday is going to be mostly accumulated rainfall across Virginia, across our north. So, you know, really in terms of measurable and wetting rain, it doesn't look like it's going to happen for this week. And then looking through 7 days, this is actually based off of the WPC 7-day rainfall, but what you're seeing here is a percent of normal 7-day precipitation. So how does this compare to climatology or our averages for this time of year? And the majority of the state is going to be below normal for 7-day rainfall. Across central North Carolina, anywhere from maybe 2% of normal to 10 to 25% of normal along the Virginia border. So not much rain to speak of this week. As we go through the extended period, like towards into basically Thanksgiving week, it does look like we're going to see a pretty strong signal for above normal temperatures, although the rainfall signal is not as clear cut. There's a slight favorability for above average precipitation, but the signal is certainly strongest for a pretty warm Thanksgiving holiday. And our average highs this year for this time of year next week, upper 50s to around 60 north to south. We don't really have any hazards to speak of this week. I did mention potentially a marginal fire risk today. That's mostly driven by the very low relative humidity values. Generally supposed to be in the mid to upper teens, but our wind gusts are going to be pretty low today, so that's not a concern. All right, so it's a pretty short briefing today, not a lot to speak of. Weather summary, we're going to be chilly today. It will be chilly tonight. There'll be some areas that get close to freezing, generally low to mid 30s tonight, but temperatures moderate through the remainder of the week and the upcoming weekend. And our rain chances are going to be mainly limited to Tuesday night into Wednesday and Friday into Saturday, with both of those systems not looking impressive. So rainfall amounts are pretty limited at this point.